Representative Mueller I believe it was one of her constituents, said, "I will have to stop my nonprofit." I will have to stop my nonprofit. This does need to go back to committee, and Republicans need to be invited and have a seat at the table. I won't go down that road, but I want to quote you something from one of the founders, Samuel Adams. Perhaps you've heard of him. He's not just a beer, Representative Nash. He's one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. He said this, "If ye love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude than the animated contest of freedom, go home from us in peace. We ask not your counsels or arms. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains sit lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that you were ever our countrymen." You see, they condemned greed. One thing they did not condemn, though, was liberty. We, the people of the state of Minnesota, grateful to God for our civil and religious liberty and desiring to perpetuate its blessings and secure the same to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution. Do you know what that is that I just read right there? It's called the preamble to the Minnesota State Constitution. The preamble. That means it's the foundation of everything written after it. Civil and religious liberty, and this bill is certainly an attack of our civil liberties. Though I do not love wealth, I do understand its value and how it needs to be used in this world for a force of good. But it's not to be forced. It's to be chosen. And it is to be worked for with hard-working hands. And I understand there are some hands who don't have the ability to work for it, and I understand we need to provide for those people. But if you do have hands that can work, you should work for it. And the government should be protecting that. God loves a cheerful giver. And that is what good government protects: freedom and liberty. Our country, the United States of America, is the greatest nation on the face of the earth, and perhaps the greatest nation ever when it comes to protecting liberty for individuals. And if you want to eye roll at that, that's fine, because again, the blood of patriots paid for the way for you to roll your eyes at that. And we have grown as a nation in the pursuit of liberty. We've made grave mistakes, yes, but what nation has not? There's not a single nation on the face of this planet who has not made grave mistakes and grave choices. To condemn our founding fathers and to condemn America for its faults is the biggest hypocrisy in this nation of all. And now America, especially right here in Minnesota, finds itself once again in great need of a change of course, because we have quickly become the most radical state in the Union with a Democrat-controlled trifecta. We've allowed government too much power, and the Democrat side of the aisle is all too eager to grant it. You want to rob Minnesotans of their ability to freely speak their mind. You want to rob them of life in the womb and even out of the womb now with the repeal. You are violating Minnesota's protections from unlawful seizures and passing red flag laws, violating our constitutionally protected rights. And now you want to destroy small business by telling them what benefits they will give and what ones they won't. And we heard a testimony of, "I'll have to stop my nonprofit," which Representative Mueller told us. What a dark day in Minnesota. This bill, it reeks of tyranny and government overreach. That's why we need to refuse to adopt. Accept this motion and let's get back to true liberty as legislators. Thomas Jefferson, I'll close with this, in his first inaugural address, March 4th, 1801, he said, "A wise and frugal government which shall restrain men from injuring one another shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned." This is the sum of good government, and what we're doing is we're wrecking small business and taking the bread that they have earned. That's what we're doing. See, men like John Hancock and Sam Adams, they were men that were being overtaxed and overburdened with mandates by government. And you're guilty of doing the same in this Democrat-led 93rd legislature. And my hope and my prayer is that Minnesota will change course and not grant you that power in the 94th legislature. Thank you, members.